Welcome to the Skull Report. We have all your latest wrestling and sports news. We have contests. We have the Dumbass Awards. We have Smoking with Shady. We have it all. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the gang of the Skull Report. First, the host with the most, the cigarette smoking son of a gun, who won't back down from a challenge, Jen. Our next co-host, the man, the Packer fan, BG Money. Our next co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, Ralph Swagger. Our next co-host, the man that would do anything for a Klondike bar, and I know this, I have proof of it, Mad Dog Justin Hicks. And last, but certainly not least, the man behind the smoke, Shady. Now let's get the show on the road. Welcome to another edition of the Skull Report.
I love it.
As you see, we have our new intro. Guys, I gotta get your feedback on that real quick.
Man, it's fantastic. I love it. It's always the right thing for something new, and I just hope our fans out here like it.
We officially got BG Money Inc. up there. How does that feel? Or sorry, Shady Money Inc.
It's Shady Money Inc.
Why do I always do that? I don't mean to do that. I call BG Shady and Shady BG all the time. I really do. I don't mean to. It's out of love.
All right. Well, let's not waste much time here, guys. We got some stuff going on here tonight.
Versus Houston. They won. I wasn't the one they were chasing. Somehow I just was along for the ride. I knew the fate.
And by the way, we're drinking by the jug because that's how we roll on the Skull Report. Actually, I'm just too damn lazy to go find me a cup right now.
Shady has
right now, at the end of the first, the Nets are up 28-25. This is going to be a hell of a game 7. They're going back and forth already. Just in the first quarter, I can tell that both teams are hungry for it. I'm going with the Nets, but
Well, hello, Stefan. How's it going?
Hello.
Thank you for tuning into the Skull Report.
The rock star in the building.
Well, I'm hoping that the Milwaukee Bucks can slap Kevin Durant right in the face and send him home.
Wow, those are some strong words coming out of.
I mean, after game, we're on game 6. They blew a 28, at least an 18-plus point lead that virtually should have and could have sent. What up, Shady? Now we got Shady.
What up, Shady? We're talking about the Knicks and Milwaukee game right now.
Shady's here to bring the sex appeal. The twisted steel and sex appeal. Shady. We got money. We got gin. And we got Diamond Dave's not. I forgot. I should have changed that before I got in here. But
no, I'm really hoping that Knicks get to go home packing empty-handedly because Milwaukee has just got the better lineup, on and off paper.
Well, Kevin Durant is a freak show. He had 49 points in Game 5. I think 18 rebounds. And he showed up. I'm not a big Durant fan. And when he first came into the league, I loved the guy. And even in Golden State, I didn't mind him. I thought it was a weak move. Of course, the NBA landscape has changed.
Well, see, Durant making a move from KC to, Golden State, that was to better his career. He just let championship rings get to his head, and now he thinks he's way too big for his tennis shoe size.
That's what's irritating me, BG, and I think a lot of them. NBA fans.
Yeah, let me show everybody what I showed.
Are the Hawks out of it?
No, the Hawks play tomorrow.
They play tomorrow.
Game 7. So
Let me show you guys what I showed everybody, but I showed this to Mad Dog, and it set him off like you wouldn't believe. So let me share this with everybody.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hell no!
Frowny faces.
I said the
Oh,
same.
hell no! Kobe is always Kobe. It should not be number 4. It should go Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, Durant, and last.
I personally feel whoever made that list right there was smoking some of the bad stuff that Shady smoked. You know what I'm saying?
Some of the bad Shady smokes.
Well,
good.
Shady's got the good stuff. They smoked the bad crap, you know. But
Yeah.
this really pisses me off with that, because there's only one person on that picture has defeated every team with over 50+ points in the NBA, and has not. There's one team that he has not beaten, and he's no longer with us, and that's the GOAT, Kobe Bryant.
I mean, if we're talking dominance and sheer power, and I hate to say this because Michael Jordan was probably the best finesse player that we got to see, the best scorer, the best whatever.
Well, yeah, from the 80s to 90s, but when you look from the 90s down, it's all Kobe.
But I'm
baby.
going to disagree on you with 1 through 3. If we're talking that list, KD should not be on that list. I told Jen that. He shouldn't be. I mean, at this point in his career, he's really good. I'm not saying he's not, but we got guys like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and
Charles Barkley.
Bill Russell back.
Well, Charles Barkley is in heat right now, you know. But
yeah, he's leaving his show. I heard he's leaving because of cancel culture, which I want to get in a second. But BG, I'm not the biggest. I love Shaq. But if we're talking most dominant force on an NBA court,
Shaq and Kobe.
No, I have to. I love Kobe.
Kobe and what's the other guy? Paul.
I'm gonna say Kobe and Jordan. My personal.
I'm gonna say Shaq.
I mean, even Shaq wasn't even consistent. I mean, he's a good player.
But when he was hot, he was unstoppable. How are you going to stop a 7-foot monster who can wrestle now? He's all elite, Shady. Shaq is all. And I'm not saying, I'm a Kobe fan. I'm not a Chicago Bulls fan. I'm a Knicks fan, obviously. So I give MJ credit where credit's due. I think he averaged like 25, 26 points a game. Kobe was the carbon copy. I look at them as almost the same. Who are two? I want to get Shady involved with this also. Who are two wrestlers from your time of watching wrestling, even if it was before your time, that you look at somebody and you're like, man, that is a carbon print copy of that guy. They remind me so much of one another. I know that's
go back and look at two guys from back then is kind of hard, but to look at, say, one guy from back then and one guy now,
you can do that. Yeah, any time period, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I would say MJF and Chris Jericho.
Okay, perfect. So, and this is a weird comparison, but I want to say it like this. Okay, Jericho is the GOAT or what, and obviously Kobe is deceased. He's not with us anymore. It's terribly. It was tragic. And Kobe was the guy that made me not really hate the Lakers. I disliked him, but I didn't.
Yeah,
hate
because
him.
if you go back and you look the way he was playing before he started playing really fully against Michael Jordan, yes, Kobe is a carbon fiber to MJ because he learned that pattern and he learned how to do what to do from the best. Larry Bird wasn't out there on that court with him.
Larry Bird was disgustingly nasty and accurate until about the last 2 years of his career, though.
Yeah, Magic Johnson wasn't out there either on that court with Kobe. It was Jordan.
if we're doing that
Kobe.
though, we could say Bill Russell wasn't out there either. Probably the most dominant big man with 11 rings, but he wasn't out there with Shaq. So it's really
Yeah.
hard to diversify. Like Reggie Miller also wasn't out there with Steph Curry. And if Reggie Miller was playing today, Reggie would probably still be, because the high volume of 3-point shots put up, Reggie would be getting buckets. So I feel weird putting Steph on a list a lot, unless it's all-time shooters.
But I've said this on the Scott Report before. It's really hard to compare players, whether it's sports or whether it's wrestling, to compare talent in two different types of eras. I mean, how can you really, everybody compares LeBron James to Michael Jordan. So how can you really compare those two when the game was different, first of all? The players on the court were different. It was a different atmosphere.
Everything was, even their body style. What did you say, Shady? Sorry.
The lines on the court were different. The 3-point line was different back then. So, I mean...
The shorty shorts were different. We can agree. Yeah. But no, you're right. I don't even compare LeBron. If I'm comparing anybody to Jordan, I'm going to go with BG. I say Kobe Bryant. Okay.
Yeah.
Kobe closest we're ever going to see to Jordan, unless years down the road, maybe a Jason Tatum right now could potentially do something like that. He's the guy that kind of emulates a little bit of Kobe. A little bit. I ain't saying a lot of BG. I know you're a Kobe fan. I'm saying he reminds me a little bit of Kobe. He does some stuff, like that. But
I mean, let's not forget about people like Scottie Pippen. I mean, you want to compare people to Michael Jordan. I mean, you got to put the man that helped make Michael Jordan who he was.
Yeah, Scottie and Roddy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would compare
mainly Scottie Pippen though. So.
I've been on note with several people. I don't even like comparing LeBron with Michael because their games were totally different.
I am not going to put LeBron on the same box as Michael Jordan because LeBron is nothing like Michael. Okay, and
you scared Jen off, Shady or BG. See what you guys did? Now it's me. And Shady Money Inc.
And Shady Money's taking over, baby. I don't care who can get pissed off for this way.
Or my homies.
But LeBron is no Michael Jordan. If Michael Jordan was still able to play in his older age and play and go against LeBron for a championship ring with a team, it would be the Chicago Bulls with Scottie Pippen and Steve Kerr on the same team getting that championship ring over LeBron. See, Jordan didn't jump from team to team to go get a ring. He's got 6 championship rings with the Chicago Bulls.
And he
almost the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're almost the same team.
That's why I said almost the same thing.
Yeah.
Just a different cast here. And LeBron, that's been my knock on him. Looking back on it now, I regret some of the hate because, like you said, just like KD did, they're not only helping their career on the court, but off the court as well with investment, things like that. That's something I've learned about KD in the last month and a half, about how involved he is outside of basketball. But he's such a little prick on the court that you want to choke him. And as good as he is, and he's great, I'm not putting him on that most dominant list. We can all agree that maybe I think you got to go by this positionally if you're talking dominance. And John Stockton was my favorite point guard to watch. Does that mean he was dominant? I feel like he was.
Little white dude. Yeah, never hold it past the little white guy.
Yeah, he could dish it or do whatever with it. He was one of the best ever.
Just to make that clear, that did not come from any kind of racist standpoint whatsoever.
No, he was Mr. He was the GOAT. Still, to me, people say Chris Paul's one of the best point guards, and he is.
Alrighty.
But
It was always the little guys in basketball that I like Kevin Johnson, Bud Webb,
Fisher.
I always want to say
He was
Allen
a short
Iverson.
guy.
I like
Fisher.
Fisher.
He was a short. Derek Fisher was a short guy.
It's just always good to see a little guy, not just all these other guys 6'5", and taller. And you've got this little guy running around.
Yeah, Trey.
Hey, Facebook
right
users, please go to StreamYard.com and give them permission to use your name. Yeah, before leaving a comment, please grant StreamYard permission to see your name at StreamYard.com/Facebook. We know who you are.
That's my goal.
And we don't want you to be a Facebook user for the rest of your life.
Exactly. Oh boy. Here comes the man, the myth, the legend.
Oh, I want Ralph's input on this, Jen. Bring it back up. Ralph,
We're not worthy.
We're not worthy. Bow down to the king.
Ralph Swagger should be number 1 on this list.
Yes, you should. I put Ralph ahead of Durant, by the way. But Jen, ask the question. Like, we all kind of disagree. I don't think Curry, Durant, and I'm not meaning to knock the deceased, as BG said. He was up there. Everybody has their own opinion, but like it's Michael. If we're talking dominant, unstoppable, I think of Shaq. I think of a dominant force. I'm not even a huge Shaq opponent, but I mean he's a 7-footer, 200, 300 some pounder who could just get his way in the paint and do whatever. Now, granted, Michael and Kobe could score at will, but dominance is a different kind of unstoppable is a different type of subject.
Well, if you're talking like that, you might as well throw Omos from the WWE up in basketball. Why can't he get it done?
Well, look, Jim, put it back up. Let's see here.
This is a fake website, by the way.
Okay. Most unstoppable players ever: Durant, Jordan, Curry, Kobe, Shaq. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna have to take Durant out. I will put Larry Bird in.
Okay.
Thank you.
I would take Curry out. None against Steph Curry. None against Steph Curry, but
it says ever. That's the issue with it,
And I'll put Magic.
Magic Johnson. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
What? Roll it back real quick. Jen, who was my 2 that I said? Well, I threw Bill Russell in there too, though.
Larry Bird and Russell, you said.
Larry Bird, but Magic would also be.
Yeah.
And that.
You gotta put Magic in there somehow.
Yeah, Curry should not be. Like I said, if we're talking best shooters, you can put Curry in there. And again, it's just a high volume of 3-pointers nowadays. It's just
because that's basically what it is. I mean, you add Magic and you add Magic and Bird, and you have a forward. Jordan was a shooting guard. Kobe's a shooting guard. I think he played the point. Magic was point guard. So basically, it'd have been 4 guards and Shaq.
Basically, Kobe, he could play the perimeter. It's like he was the best perimeter shooter that was in the NBA. Now everybody's trying to be Kobe and Jordan, trying to shoot from the perimeter.
My question is this. Are we being biased because everybody that we picked, their careers are done? I mean, unfortunately, Kobe passed away. But everybody else that we put on that list, we've taken Durant and Curry off, and we put guys on there who are no longer playing. But I feel that they've earned their spot, during their career. But are we being a little bit biased because of our ages and our generation?
There's always going to be.
I'm gonna sit here and say this: the centers of the day, they're soft. I'm sorry, they're soft. I mean, you 7'2" and you want to shoot threes. Lord, if I'm 7'2", I'm crashing boards. I'm dropping elbows. I'm blocking the shit out of somebody's shot first. Knock their ass on the ground. But like it's gonna be like this all night, baby. all night. You know,
Right, absolutely.
And so you were able to showboat back then in all sports. You can't even showboat now. Like they took away part of the fun of being a dominant player in the game.
They still do in the NBA, Lord.
Yeah,
I know they do, but they're still limited. Like you can't do like they used to do back in the day and get all up in their faces, and be like, "Yeah,
oh
yeah."
Yeah.
Well, the way I look at it,
Michael Jordan was one of the best shit talkers on the court that there ever was.
And you can't nowadays. If you go and you get LeBron's face, just one of these, he wants to cry, just like everybody else. But
the way I look at it is that there are two players on that list. You could have the best game that you were ever gonna have, and they could have one of their worst, and you're still not gonna be able to stop them. And that was Jordan and Kobe.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's my personal opinion.
Let me put it out here like this. Let me say this. What if Kobe and Jordan was on the same team?
Oh, stop.
What if that would have happened? You had Kobe
that Space Jam jazz
with
1 year. 1 year.
What if?
1 year. They'll be together for 1 year, and then either Kobe gonna be gone or Michael Jordan gonna be gone.
Somebody's getting hurt.
Yeah, with that one if in that complete year, you got a championship.
Talking about some of the highest points games there would probably have ever been.
You better have Phil Jackson as the head coach. You better have whoever Michael Jordan wants to play with. You have to let Kobe kind of be the second. I'm not saying.
You gotta Kobe be Kobe.
Kobe ain't gonna play second fiddle.
That's what I'm gonna say. Neither guy's gonna want to give the ball up. So how would it work?
That's why I said 1 year.
But what if they
1 year? Okay.
This is gonna be 1 year. They ain't gonna last two.
All I can say is a what if situation like that, BG, we'd already know who was going to win the championship that year. And that's my personal opinion.
No.
You put two superstars like that together on one team, and I'm sorry to say this, they're not going to bomb like you put Kyrie, Harden, and Kevin Durant on one team.
What if you put Magic and Bird on the same team against the team with Michael and Kobe? Okay.
Oh, that's a must-see.
That would have been. Here's my money. Take it.
You're talking about a 3-point shoot-off.
We're talking
the entire game.
We're talking about a guy that's fresh out of high school winning the dunk competition with a legend himself already with 3 championship rings against them guys that's already got championship rings.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing about this. Now, of course, Shaq and Kobe done came to blows pretty much. There was an interview about a few months ago. Brian Shaw was being interviewed on a podcast by Jim Rome. He said that Phil Jackson called him to come down from Oakland to stop Kobe and Shaq from fighting. And Shaq was going to beat the hell out of Kobe. He was waiting in the parking lot for him.
I believe
that. They had pulled him in, and this was the year they lost to Detroit in the finals. When they had Gary Payton and Karl Malone there.
04, 03, or 04?
05.
Right? 05, okay. Sorry. 05, man.
Well, I think it might have been 04.
Let's do this, because we're going to be doing this throughout the night. Right now, we have with 3:50 left in the second quarter. It's 43-38 in favor of the Nets. And the New York Islanders have scored over Tampa 1-0 with 13:35 left in the second.
Good, having a good time. Having a good time.
The San Diego Padres are beating the Cincinnati Reds in the top of the 5th inning in baseball. 5-3.
And Tatis haven't hit the ball out of Cincinnati yet.
Well, we also had, speaking of baseball, we had Miami completely destroy the Chicago Cubs 11-1.
Yeah,
Which
boy.
is-
Woo!
I wouldn't say
Cincinnati Reds just
destroy.
found it
I mean, I wouldn't say destroy. Route maybe, yeah. I mean, because like
It's always a good day when somebody can beat the Cubs.
Thank you.
says the big St. Louis fan over there.
Cincinnati and the Padres are putting on a clinic right now because Cincinnati just had bases loaded, sent in 2 runs. Now they still got two runners on base. I mean, they're looking in good shape right now. So
we're terrible.
Well, this is what I miss about baseball. Now, I mean, as much as I like baseball. I wish I would have played baseball in high school, or little league, but I miss those days which pitcher would go pitch a complete game, win or lose, don't matter. They throwing that ball. Not no 125 pitches. They throwing 250, almost 300 pitches a game. I mean, you got pitchers that had an ERA of 3.54, and you better get a run off of them.
I mean, goes back to what you were saying. I mean, they've gotten soft.
Back in the 70s, I mean, Nolan Ryan used to soak his hand in pickle brine after every game.
Yep.
My brother, yeah. I just seen Bartolo, and wait, what's that? No expanded playoffs? Are they going to expand it again?
You know what? In a way, I don't have a problem with the expanded playoffs. I just don't like that run on second base in extra innings and the 7-inning double hitters. What the hell? I mean, Madison Bumgarner threw a no hitter, but it was part of a double hitter, so it was a no hitter at 7 innings. Oh, we won't count that,
man.
I mean, baseball. They got to get they rules are just so screwy right now.
Shit together.
They really do. I mean,
And see, it's not a lot of the players' fault that they're a lot of them have became soft. It's because a lot of them have learned to use the rules to their advantage, and they came out with so many new rules. Like in NASCAR, you can't even hardly rub another car without getting fined for it after the race.
I forget my guy. They do pitch limitations. I didn't mean to cut you. I was trying to think of the manager with the
you're good.
Before Dusty. Do you remember who was there before Dusty? Ralph.
Who?
Washington. I can't think of the manager's name. It
was before Dusty.
Yeah, it was an older. I'm Leland, but anyway,
I want to say Davey Johnson. But I don't know.
Whoever it was, they would keep Scherzer, which he had the Tommy John, like Shady was saying, and ain't meaning to be, soft or whatever. But they had Scherzer, not Scherzer, dear Lord, Strasburg. They had
Strasburg, his elbow.
Yep, with the pitch limit for a long time, like 2 years. He was one of the first I remember being like, "This is kind of a big deal. This guy's only throwing, They're trying to keep him less than so many 100 balls a year, and that's what it was for playoff time. We ain't gonna make the playoffs if your ace ain't pitching."
All right, I had that. We're gonna get back into a little bit more NBA as this game progresses, but I do have that fuzzy feeling again. And BG Money, you're gonna help me on this because we chose this one together. So let's do the new video clip for this.
This moment just makes you want to say, "Dumbass!"
So, this week's dumbass reward goes to LeBron James. Do you want to know why LeBron's getting a dumbass reward?
Space Jam 2's a flop already.
It's not even out yet. It's not even out yet.
That's what I'm saying.
It's because you're changing your jersey number because you're a crybaby. I want to go back to number 6, Daddy. Please let me go back to number 6. Well, sir, you got your way. It's official. You're back to number 6 like you was in South Beach. What a dumbass. You should have stayed number 23, sir. Should have stayed number 23.
But he's what saying now.
I mean, if he would have stayed the number 23, he could have just cemented some things, you know. If he really wanted to cement, you know, a legacy in that way.
It's all about the Space Jam.
Yeah, it's about the Space Jam movie, and I'm not trying to say he's trying to copy Kobe, but yeah, it's about the Space Jam movie.
I mean, I would agree with you about. I've heard a lot of even NBA reporters be like, "Is this something?" And almost like an honorable thing to do for Kobe because he had the two jerseys, 8 and 24. So LeBron going, you know, with the second jersey. But this is what this is his fourth year in LA, getting ready to kick off.
Yeah, but the thing is, LeBron's not trying to honor anybody but LeBron.
Yeah,
well, yeah. Like I said, because of the movie, because of Space Jam. I mean,
because of the Space Jam movie. That's.
Anytime you come out with when a guy gets traded in the NBA, and it happens more in the NBA than any other sport, even though the NFL's been hot lately the last few years, everybody's going to go out and get that new jersey. If Luka Doncic signed with Boston, for example.
No, here's a great example. You know, we're all on the team, and it's like Ralph changes his jersey number. I changed mine. Shady changes his, and the Savage one, Jen, changes her jersey number. Guess what? We just sold another $1 million worth of jerseys because
there you go.
We wanted to change our jersey number.
So
exactly. The fans have to go out and buy the new number now.
He's a market maker. He's a market maker now.
It's all a money thing. I mean, really, what's behind the number?
I remember.
Why do they even have to have numbers?
Well, see, with the number 6, that's the number he wore in Miami.
Yeah, and the Olympic team too. Yeah.
And the Olympic team.
Yeah, so it's important to him. So
yeah.
I remember. We follow the players by their name, but we don't follow the players by their number. You know
exactly.
It's like, I mean, do you like a NASCAR driver because of the number?
Some people actually used to, yeah. That 40.
Well, yeah, I did get in an argument with somebody over a number, but you know, but that's a different story altogether. But what I say was that at the University. I'm sorry. I was sorry, Jen. But I remember at the University of Houston back in the 80s, they would wear different number uniforms at home and on the road. Like Olajuwon. Olajuwon would wear 34 at home, would wear 35 on the road. They, you know, I mean, I don't know if anybody ever caught that, but you know.
Yeah. I had not known. I mean, which I wasn't around.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that either.
No,
I've said this to everybody in the Squad Report chat yesterday. I think it was. I caught some of a hockey game the other night, and it hit me. And I've watched hockey all my life since I'm from Pittsburgh and Penguin territory. I remember the good old Stanley Cup days. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Shady has something to show me. I think. But I was watching the game. I could not announce that game. Oh. Hell yeah! You sending that to me, right?
Ooh, that's nice.
Looking sleek, looking gorgeous.
So I hate the Steelers, but that's a nice jersey. You will not see it wear.
It was given to me from a friend. So
hey, that's a good friend right there.
I tried to wear Ben Roethlisberger jersey. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Right. And it was a nice jersey. It was a badass jersey. I put it on.
This one doesn't have a name or anything. It's just a team jersey.
Yeah,
I mean, Jets jersey. I had Favre, and I would get itchy every time I put it on because it was those Jets. I just couldn't.
I mean, the jersey was all black. I mean, the stitching was gold. The number 7, you just see the stitching outline gold. Roethlisberger was in gold. I mean, you can see the steel patches and stuff. It was a smoke color. I put it on.
Looks nice on you, Sadie.
Look how gorgeous.
I put it on, walked outside, walked right back in, took it off. So I can't wear this shit, and just gave it back.
Now the patch is really cool on Steeler jerseys, by the way. So I've had one Palomalu right there, and the patch started peeling off. And I now can't even find the jersey, but I love that thing.
Yeah.
Jen, I wanted to talk a little bit about some coaching, some NBA real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, go for it.
7 fires that just happened. I'll be real quick. Oh, now he turned into Matt Ryan all of a sudden. Woo!
You should burn that jersey.
So,
Get your Michael Vick one.
Get a Vick one.
I've got one, but I just don't have it available right now.
The dog's wearing it.
These last few days, things got a little crazy in the NBA world, and I suspect with whatever tonight's outcome and tomorrow, could potentially make some more moves, whether it be roster changes. No NBA team's ever the same from one year to the next anyway, or very rarely. But we had some coaches fired, obviously. Scott Brooks in Washington decided not to re-up his contract. The Pacers fired their coach. The Magic got rid of Steve Clifford. New Orleans fired Stan Van Gundy. Portland got rid of Coach of the Year just 3 seasons ago and Terry Stotts. Dallas, the surprising move. Rick Carlisle is gone mutually. And Boston, obviously, Brad Stevens has moved in the front office. And today I had sent Jen. You want...
No, go ahead. I'm just, what you been? I just got something quick to say.
Yeah, I'm going to be real quick. These, Boston, obviously, from this one website, it's a top tier job. But I kind of went over who they've been looking at: Chauncey Billups, Darvin Ham, and Udoka from the Spurs. He's been under Pop for 7 years. He's up for about 3 of these jobs. He's definitely going to get a head job this year. Dallas is firmly in talks with Jason Kidd, and Terry Stotts has kind of came to the forefront. You're going to have potential to have Luka Doncic there for a max contract season. So, and they've already reached out to Kidd, a former player, but Terry Stotts today. And I think Darvin Ham's got an outside shot for that job also because they were liking him. Portland, obviously, Damian Lillard made it known he wanted Jason Kidd. I have 2 outside people that I would like to see, and that would be Scotty Brooks because we've seen what he could do with the guard position when he was in OKC mainly. That's what I give him credit for because Washington, he had very little to work with. But this is going to be kind of neat and new. I have a prediction that we will get our first female NBA head coach in Becky Hammon. I have her penciled down for 2 jobs mainly. She's interviewing for 3. Boston is 1. She's not going to get the Boston job. I just don't think, Brad Stevens is now the president there where he took over Danny Ainge's job for whatever reason. I don't know. But anyway, I don't think Becky gets that one. But I think she's going to have her pick between Portland potentially. And if I'm the Orlando Magic, I look at Becky Hammon and I let her run my franchise right now. But also Darvin Ham is there. I look at Stotts, Scotty Brooks, and a couple other guys I'm going to mention for the Pacers job. Wes Unseld Jr., his famous daddy, played for the Wizards back in the day, right, Ralph? The famous Wizard. They got Junior getting that Wizards job. And I left a few guys on the outside looking in. I would love to see Sam Cassell finally get his shot. I think he deserves it. Man, you mentioned earlier one of my favorite coaches who's really actually a very good head coach. He just hasn't had much time. Brian Shaw. Mike Brown, is it time for him again? I don't know. I listed him. Mike D'Antoni, I don't really like him as a head coach, especially right now, but Portland is in talks with him. Kenny Atkinson, I love. Dave Yeager, probably ready to coach again. Mark Jackson's always on the list, and so is Jeff Van Gundy. But Chauncey Billups, Sam Cassell, I'd love to see my guy Pat. I know he's at Georgetown, but I think Patrick Ewing should get a look. I think Sam Cassell should definitely get a look. And I think Chauncey Billups should get a job. If he doesn't get a job this year, I don't know what the hell's wrong with the NBA.
Rick Carlisle will be the head coach of the Celtics. That's my bold prediction right there.
As this one site listed, I just went on what they said, but Carlisle played with Larry Bird. Am I right?
Yes, he did.
That's a good pick. That's a good selection. He's a former Indiana Pacer coach, right? I think Pacers and Pistons, but he, Brad Stevens. There's a lot of Indiana with the Boston pride, so that ain't a bad pick. I don't know. Also Michael Finley, one of my favorites. When I was younger, I was in 7th grade. I tried to adopt my jump shot after him. He just said, put some arc on that ball, get it as high as you can. There you go, Shady. Perfect form. He is being tagged for Donnie Nelson's row, who left after, this week, the man who basically talked Mark Cuban into trading for Luka Doncic. So I'm happy for Mike Finley. I hope he gets the job. I love Michael Finley. And I love Luka. He's one of my favorite players to watch. I just want to see what they get. I think Jason Kidd would be a heck of a hire wherever he goes. New Orleans, I got no clue who's going to take that job. I think that's really the lowest end job to take because Zion's not happy. They're already talking about if you come in, you're going to be trading. They had a lot of NFL guys at one point. Mickey Loomis was running this team just 4 years ago. You don't know what he's doing in the basketball world. Gail Benson should probably sell. She's not going to. Obviously, she's got Zion. But Zion, if there ain't some swift changes made, he's going to be gone in the next 2 years. That's my take. Sorry.
All right, well, let's give a live score update. The Nets are up at halftime, 53-47. Still a lot of time in this game. I mean, both these teams won it. I'm going with the Nets, but we discussed that earlier in the program. And Justin, to your point, this is what happens every year around this time in the NBA. NBA teams decide that because they're not in the playoffs, might as well change up some stuff in the, coaching staff, back office, etc. I would love to see a female NBA coach. I know a little bit about her, not a lot. I think she'd be great.
Yeah,
she seems like one of those people that's not going to take the player's shit either.
She is one of the women that you can tell. And Ralph, I think you've seen her. She played for the Stars, right? I think Becky Hammond. She played for.
Yeah.
She
played the San Antonio Silver Stars.
Silver Star, okay. So she's a San Antonio girl, but it's her time. I honestly think if Pop leaves, I think it would be a very Greg Popovich move to put her in her as his heir apparent whenever that time comes. But if I'm the Orlando Magic, I offer her the world because they got a young squad. They could basically let her do whatever she wanted to do, implement her players. They got Fultz, they got Cole Anthony, got Wendell Carter Jr. He's actually one of the centers that I like. And also, Mike.
I've got a live hockey score update. The New York Islanders are leading the Tampa Bay Lightning 2-1 right now in Game 4.
You guys are going to have to talk that hockey. But real quick, I was going to say, if the Bucks lose tonight, Jen, Ralph, BG, and Shady, Budenholzer is all but done in 3 or 4 years. So Giannis, they're trying to make him happy. He's basically after next year he can leave. He can leave anytime, but like now he could leave and get money. I mean, he's going to be fine no matter what. But Budenholzer won't be if they lose tonight. That's the question. And who do they get in his place? I don't know. I love Brian Shaw. I don't know if everybody else does. Ralph, you mentioned him a minute ago. I thought he was a great. Yeah, they had a bad team in Denver, but he could have been a great coach. I think he was.
All right. Well, we're gonna do our first contest question tonight. We're not doing the rule discipline as of right now. Hockey is coming to an end anyways. Sadly for your hockey fans out there. But we're gonna do trivia tonight for our contest. Again, as many questions as if you answer these questions correctly, you'll be entered into a drawing at the end of the month for a surprise from your friends here at the Star Report. So I'll put up the questions. We'll put up a 30-second timer. We'll come back. All the panelists up here can answer, and we'll go from there. And then we'll see what our fans have to say. First question: there was only one NBA player who has 3 sons to go on to play in the league. Which player is this? And the 30 seconds starts now. All right. PG Money, any guesses or anything?
I'm going to go on the limb. I'm going to say Dale Curry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Who?
Dale Curry.
Dale Curry. LeBall. Maybe LeBall or Dale Curry, one of the two.
LeVar didn't he didn't play.
I got Jen.
God, I know. I think I know who it is, but I can't. The name is gone. It's driving me nuts.
Rick Barry.
Good answer.
Are we ready for the answer?
I don't think that's what it is.
It is Barry.
Rick Barry. His son's a black
yeah.
I don't know.
When he said it, I was like, "Yep, that's it."
I don't know who the youngest is, but he didn't play that long. John and
Not who I was thinking. So
well, they all didn't play that long. I mean, I think one of them got in the slam dunk contest, but that's about it.
Brent won a ring. I don't know what John did. He played for the Rockets, and I have no idea who the other son is. But I know because
I didn't know it either when I looked it up, to be honest with you. When I seen the question, I didn't know it either.
He was on these G League teams. And when you said three, because I thought at first I was with BG, and I said, wait a minute, LiAngelo, he went to the G League. I don't know if he got to play the NBA.
Nah.
He played G League. I don't know if he did.
Nah. Which is a good thing because you ain't got to hear LeVar talking, LeVar just wrong. Damn off.
Well, that's right.
I think I was thinking about baseball and King Griffey.
Yeah, he is probably on. Hey,
TJ
Walker.
TJ Walker.
Summer Mania in the house.
I mean, that's why I said I went on the limb with the Currys, but I mean, I already, Dale, Steph, and Sammy.
there ain't a lot of basketball families, man. I guess the Currys and the Berries would kind of be the first family of basketball. In football, you got the Manning brothers, and that's pretty much it too. But I mean, like, I don't know. There ain't many.
I mean, Giannis' two brothers play in the NBA, and I think they play for the Lakers.
Yeah,
but that's it.
All right, let's get into our next segment because I got some complaining to do.
What else is
Oh Lord, better just go on this.
I'm on my soapbox, guys.
All right, everybody, be quiet and give Jen the room.
Take the floor, girl.
What the hell was WWE thinking putting the Rey Mysterio Roman Reigns fight on Friday Night SmackDown instead of at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I understand part of the reason was to bring viewers into SmackDown, which my latest things that I caught didn't work out very well for them. I think they were about the same. Don't quote me on that because I don't know for a fact. All the numbers haven't come in yet. It's only the day after. But, you know, they kind of built this up weekly. You know, I mean, within 2 weeks, fine. But what the hell are you thinking put it on Friday Night SmackDown instead of putting it at the pay-per-view that everybody wanted to see? CG Money, go ahead. Take me off my soapbox.
Vince told him, go make me money. And it failed dramatically.
Who won the match? That's my question. Who won the match?
Who do you think?
I'm sure wrong. Okay,
it was just a strong push for Roman Reigns' ego character.
Is there a way
I won.
You know.
Is there a way they can pull off something at Hell in a Cell? Maybe I don't know.
Before we go on to that, let me say congratulations to Walker Family Entertainment. They had their first sponsor. They are sponsored by Rage Energy Drink. Great job, Thomas. It ain't seriousness. I messed with you about Thumbomania, but in all seriousness, congratulations on that. Go ahead and continue, though.
Rays, I feel sorry for your CEO. Boy, y'all want to drain. I'm kidding. I love you, Thomas.
And the Rage Energy drink is really good too, by the way. If you guys hadn't tried it, go out and get some.
It's a lubricant.
Well, I'm not supposed to be drinking those anymore, so
Well, don't go out and get it if you can't have it. But
BG, quit putting product. You and Thomas. I'm sorry. I will watch from afar. I'll buy some for all the little cool kids when they get.
Now, I did take a glance at NXT on Tuesday night, and there is a new enforcer right next to William Regal. I will be making a video about it soon.
Awesome, Walker. Awesome, Thomas.
Dobomania.
Oh, brother.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not.
Does that mean we get free Ray's energy drinks?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm ready.
Like, I'm down. No.
I mean, yeah, I'll take one.
That's all I'll throw it up, you know.
They'll be bankrupt in a month. No, I'm just kidding.
Now, going back to NXT Tuesday night.
Tell them you know some real shady affiliates.
True. Let's get some shady money raised out there. You know what I'm saying? Now, NXT Tuesday night was fantastic on how they had it pointed out, point for point, going on with the show. You got Samoa Joe being the new enforcer, right next to, William Regal. William Regal said, "You can only touch him if provoked." And Samoa Joe choked the shit out of Adam Cole, baby. And let me tell you, he went to sleep quickly.
Of course he did. Joe killed him.
And then the whole ceremony.
Y'all should have seen it. I mean, Joe looked like, this motherfucker touched me.
Yep.
Put that computer clutch on.
Took that $1,000 suit jacket off and choked the shit out of the boy.
Yeah. I think Joe enjoyed just the physicality.
Yeah.
Just the little bit that he was able to get involved in. He's got to love it, because he's missing being in the ring full time. So,
yeah,
if they give him a little bit of action as an enforcer, hey, that's all good.
I for one will say this from the Skull Report, from the bottom of our heart. Welcome back, Samoa Joe.
Yep.
Joe will kill you.
Joe's gonna kill you.
Joe. I did kind of steal something from Joe this week, and I was like, Shady's gonna kill you.
Don't let him.
Samoa
Shady,
Joe, if
what's
you're
going
watching
up with
this guy, he's on his own. Don't kill me.
Shady, what's going up with AEW, man, this week?
This week there was an actual, well, I can't say an actual, but an MMA style fight, inside an octagon type ring, or actually inside an octagon cage, between Jake Hager and Wardlow, and I think it was just an attempt to make Wardlow seem strong, like a strong guy, since Jake Hager's in MMA. But Jake Hager did make him tap out, or I didn't make him tap out. He went to sleep, So
Yeah.
it didn't make him seem strong. It didn't make him seem weak, but it made him look strong at the same time.
Did he go to sleep just
but
like
it was
Adam Cole, like a baby?
Yeah, I think it was a good warm up for Jake Hager's next MMA fight.
I got a
But
question.
next week on AEW, there's going to be it's going to be Sammy Guevara versus MJF. Now that's a matchup that we've seen in the indies before, but we've never had it on AEW. I don't think so.
On free TV, I like that.
I'm looking forward to that match.
Now I got a question. I wonder if you guys, because I did know about the Hell in a Cell, and I seen a clip on Twitter. I'm official.
Hell in a Cell tomorrow night, by the way, I think.
Well, I know, but
Yeah.
from Roman's match last night, I knew I found out they did that, but they had did this octagon MMA style cage fight, whatever. Wonder if the Hell in a Cell was moved up because of that. I wonder if that's
okay. Here's
That's a possibility because AEW was on Friday night after SmackDown.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I mean, I could see Vince saying, "Hey, look, we're here. Let's go ahead and drop it." Right? Here's the thing.
It's because it's all in lingered.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. It's all in lingered, where, boom, all of a sudden AEW is on Friday nights going against SmackDown.
Yeah.
But SmackDown had to answer what AEW was going to do.
And they did technically do it before. You kinda, I mean, they just we had a Hell in a Cell plan.
Hey, go make me money.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that the cage fight may have been pre-recorded somewhere.
It could have been.
So
That could have been, yes.
That was just when I found out. We had an AEW MMA style match, and we had a Hell in a Cell match. I didn't.
That was the first time a Hell in a Cell's been on SmackDown since '98, as it was talking about.
I think they said either the first
I
time.
don't think the Hell in a Cell's never been on TV before.
Yeah. I didn't watch, so I mean, I was being them. I figured it might have ended kind of shady. I had to say that because you're on here.
Yeah, they've had cage matches on live TV before, but they've never had an actual Hell in a Cell match.
Right.
Yeah.
TV.
All right, let's give a live sports update. With 8:36 left in the third, the Bucks are up 59-57 over the Nets. Back and forth game, guys.
Let's go Bucks!
In hockey, the Islanders are now 3-0 against the Lightning, so it's looking like they're going to tie the series.
Let's
at 2
go
games.
Islanders! Close them.
Is that in are they still in New York or they back in Tampa?
I think they're still in New York.
Well, since we have him live this week,
But the Padres and Reds are still tied in baseball too. So
well, since what Jen was about to say, since we got Mr. Ralph Swagger, the SWA heavyweight champion of the world, live with us this week.
Oh my.
Let's get into some NASCAR, shall we?
I'm fangirl.
Okay, pulling into the pits. 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Here we go with the racing report here. We're gonna start off with IndyCar from last week. They raced in Belle Isle in Detroit on Saturday and Sunday. The first race was won by Marcus Harrison. Second race was won by Pato O'Ward. And they're racing this week at Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. That's another track I would love to go to. NASCAR is going there on the 4th of July. But in this case, the Rev Group Grand Prix Pole Award was given to Joseph Newgarden won it, so he'll be starting on the pole tomorrow for that race. Formula One, they're back on track this week. They're having the Formula One Emirates Grand Prix de France. They're in France. They're racing in France, and Max Verstappen edged out Lewis Hamilton to get the pole for the race there, and that's gonna be like early tomorrow morning, maybe like 6, 7 in the morning. Formula One this year has been very competitive because next year their budgets, every team's budget gonna be $145 million. So whatever you can do with $145 million, will you make your
flat
costs across the board? So it's gonna be a level playing.
It's definitely gonna change some stuff in that sport. So
yeah, definitely. Now NASCAR. Just a big one. A lot of things going on in NASCAR. I'm just going to go ahead and just try to keep it brief as possible, but there's a lot of stuff going on. Last week, SpeedyCash.com 200. All this was done in Texas Motor Speedway for the All-Star Weekend. SpeedyCash.com 200 in the Camping World Truck Series. Winner, John Hunter Nemechek. In the Xfinity Series, All-Star Uniforms 250 was won by Kyle Busch. That was his 99th win in the Busch Nationwide Xfinity Series.
damn.
I'm just saying that because back then it was the Busch Series, then they changed the name over to Nationwide, then they changed the Xfinity. That's why I said Busch Nationwide.
Yeah, that's putting him close to the most wins, though, isn't it? Or is he already got it?
He already got it. I mean,
that's what I was about to say.
He been eclipsed that record. But there's one more. There's one more. I'm gonna get to it real quick. Now in the NASCAR Cup, they did have the All-Star race. They had the All-Star Open, and the winners of the segments that got into the All-Star race was Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick, and Eric Almirola. Matt DiBenedetto got in on the fan vote. Unfortunately, but Wallace didn't make it in there, so hey, that's another blow to 23XI Racing. But the All-Star race was dominated mostly by Hendrick Motorsports, and the winner was Kyle Larson. That's his third race in a row. Although this is 9 points paying race, he still dominated. Hendrick right now. Hendrick, from what I heard, Hendrick Motorsports, they getting at least about an extra 15 to 30 horsepower in their cars. By the way they got their cars programmed right now, so they are the class of the field until otherwise a catastrophic failure or NASCAR rule changes come along. Now, this weekend NASCAR, they're in Nashville. They're back in Nashville, Tennessee. They finally came back to Nashville. They're at the Nashville Super Speedway. I mean, they trying to race over to the fairgrounds, but that's a different story altogether. Last night, the Rackley Roofing 200 was won. The Camping World Truck Series race was won by Ryan Preece. Normally, he raced in the Cup Series. He went down to the trucks to probably get a good feel for the track. First win. Congratulations to him. Now today, the Tennessee Lottery 250. Kyle Busch won it. Okay, he damn near wins everything. That was his 100th race that he won. He said a while back that if he wins 100 races in Xfinity, he's done. Yeah. However, he still got 2 more Xfinity racing commitments at Road America and Atlanta. So, because he can only race 5 races a year. Go down and race 5 races. So it's possible if he stops racing Xfinity, he's gonna have 102 wins. You know what I'm saying?
I think he'll do it just because of how the schedule is laid out.
Because he's the winningest driver when you count all the wins together from the Truck Series, Xfinity, and NASCAR Cup. He's the all-time winner racer. He's the all-time winner.
He's a beast, man, behind the wheel.
Yeah. He done won the most races in trucks. He done won the most races in Xfinity. No one's not gonna get the Richard Petty, so just forget about that. But it just all together, he has the most wins altogether.
I know some anti-Bush fans are really complaining about all that, Ralph. I've seen it all over Facebook earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing about it is, and that's why they limited some of the NASCAR Cup guys to race down and race in Xfinity, is because at one point you could race the NASCAR Cup Series and win the Cup Series championship. You can race the Xfinity Series at the same time and win the Xfinity championship and the Camping World Truck Series. And a lot of fans complain about that because they see the Cup guys come down to Xfinity to race in their races, to where the guys that are coming up in Xfinity.
It would be like in wrestling, say, if the NXT champion came up and won the WWE title, right. Or I mean, if the WWE champion came over and won the NXT championship, I'm sorry, that's the way it would be. But I mean, that's the way you got to look at it. So I mean, I get where the fans were coming from, but at the same time, they were missing out on great racing, because when you have somebody that's that good and that competitive, all it does is make other people strive to beat that person and do better. Yeah. So sometimes without those people in the sport like that, you don't really get the full competitiveness out of people and players that I guess that they would normally bring, knowing that somebody is out there, that they want to be better than, or that they would want to beat.
Yeah, because some of the Xfinity drivers, when they do see Kyle Busch there, it's like, especially it's like Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe beat. It was down to him and Kyle Busch in Darlington last year, and he beat Kyle Busch. And that was one of the things he was saying. He was glad that Kyle Busch was there, because then he can basically show Kyle Busch, hey, look, I can do just as good a job as you, even better.
Right.
But that's why. But now every year you have to commit at the beginning of the season which series you're gonna go for the championship. So if you're going for the Cup championship, you can't go for no other championship. You can go down and race in the Xfinity Series or the Truck Series, but you only got like 5 days to do that. And most of the time they do that because the promoters
they put a limit on it.
Yeah, most of the time they do that because the promoters they trying to bring in that extra money. So hey, that Kyle Busch be at this race, and then people gonna come in. Well, they boom or cheer him. They know they got that extra money coming in.
Exactly. I mean, you're messing with people's livelihoods at that point, so they're going to take offense to it, of course.
Yeah.
Even if it's a ticket, man, you can fill it up pretty quick if one of those guys are going to see behind the wheel. Sorry.
Right. And with that, the jack done went down. I'm in the car. I got my Gatorade. I'm off, and hopefully I'm not speeding down pit lane upon pit exit, and I'm going back on the track. This is Ralph Swagger with the Score Report Racing Review.
Thank you, Ralph. All right, let's do our second question, and in the theme of NBA, since we are in the middle of the playoffs. The next question is another NBA question. So Shady, if you want to disqualify yourself, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, baby.
I'll stick to say I'm sure I'll get it wrong, but I'm gonna act like I know it. Mm.
All right. Our next question is: in which year did the NBA introduce the 3-point shot? And your 30 seconds begin. You go first, buddy.
I'm gonna say 1984.
Did you money?
I'm gonna say 79.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Brady, what's
say
your guess?
1972.
Justin?
I'm going to say 82, but all those are great guesses. I haven't really thought about 84, 79. But I'm going to say what I say, 82. 82.
I think,
Alright.
I'm gonna say 72, but I think it was 77.
70.
Nope, 79.
79.
Wow,
1979.
that's a lucky guess.
I was born in 1979. How do I get this shit wrong?
I
You're
was thinking shady.
Damn.
No,
I'm sitting there thinking about college 3-pointers because like they didn't do the 3-pointer line until about the 80s. So I figured maybe the NBA did around the same time,
Yeah.
which they did, but they just did it before.
college was that 86, 87, something like that.
I remembered it was in the 70s, but I couldn't remember which one it was because I knew it was before I was born. I think it was before I was born. I was born in March of 79, so I don't know if it was already that year.
You were conceived the night that the 3-point shot became available. That's why you shaded.
All right. Well, I had that warm and fuzzy feeling again. So,
This moment just makes you want to say, Dumbass!
Dumbass!
the last dumbass award of tonight goes to Luis Pena, who was an up-and-coming UFC star, who is now charged with robbery by snatching and battery. Details are not being released at the time that I read the article, which is a couple hours ago. But he's in a lot of trouble. And I haven't seen him a lot, but maybe you guys who don't watch UFC, but he was supposed to be an up-and-coming star. Would have been really good, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen for him now.
Now he's up and coming. Sing.
The Republic of Florida strikes again.
That's that Dana White money talking. $10,000, $15,000, $11,000 if you win a match or something.
Dana don't play that shit.
No.
All right, Justin, you're up.
Just got a little bit of. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, 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 ding. Sorry, I had to. That last one. Tonight we had a couple. Today and tonight, I think it's going on right now. USA superstar in the flyweight women's division, Michaela Meyer, will defend her title. That's going to be exciting on Top Rank ESPN at 10 o'clock, so about right now. And also, Naoya Inoue, one of the top 3 or 4 pound-for-pound fighters in all the world. He's a bantamweight. He puts up his IBF and WBA super belt for WBA, but the IBF, he's just a super champ, super bantam. He's nasty, he's quick, he's mean, he's vicious, he's ferocious. He's a bad man. He's on free TV. Check him out. It should be around 11-ish. But he's going to be fighting let me see. Dasmariñas. I think I got the name right. Dasmariñas is 32-1, but I mean the smaller weights don't get no love, unfortunately. So I don't know a ton about them, but I know Inoue is one of the baddest kids on the block.
Hey, Justin, I have to interrupt you. Hi, Rachel.
You're good.
How you doing, honey?
Rachel.
I got to interrupt you for our number 1 fan here.
Oh, of course.
Rachel.
Earlier today, we also had one of my personal favorites in the, he's kind of hanging around that welterweight division. I guess I missed the fight, but Jaime Munguia got a 6-round KO against Sermedev, who fought Triple G for his IBF middleweight championship here. About the last time Triple G fought. How you doing, Rachel? But he knocked off Cermeta in round 6. I'm really happy for Munguia. He's a Mexicali kid. Looks like a bright, young, upcoming superstar for De La Hoya and Golden Boy Production. We also have, will he fight Charlo next? We can't figure out which Charlo. Charlo's kind of ducking and diving. He wants Canelo, but so does my guy Andrade with Matchroom, and Matchroom seems to be working with Canelo. There's a lot of crazy handshake backdoor deals. So I'm just happy for Munguia. He gets yet another victory. He moves on up. He's still unbeaten. 6-round KO. Gabe Rosada got a nice knockout victory. I missed these fights, unfortunately. I will check them out later. Inoue is my fight tonight to watch. But in 1 week, let me get my Joe Tessitore voice on. 1 week from tonight, Mario Barrios, 26-0, will go against Gervonta Tank Davis, Floyd Money Mayweather's top fighter, his premier fighter, the only one that he cares about on his promotion, I think, at 24-0-0. I look for Tank really to beat the champ and kind of further himself. Oh my God, you should rebel against Rick. We all do. That's why we're here tonight, Rachel. That's why you're here. But Mario Barrios, I'm actually a huge fan of his. I've only got to see him fight once. It was actually on the same card as Tank Davis. He defeated this Texas guy. Very good fight. He's still, he's 26-0, but if we're talking punching power, Tank Davis may be, for his size, the hardest hitting guy in the game, and people are calling for Tank to win. I'm excited to watch that fight next week. But we also have Vasily Lomachenko versus Nakatani in his first fight after dropping the lightweight championships and being undisputed to Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo was supposed to fight tonight, but due to COVID, he actually caught Corona 19 or COVID-19. He is out of action against George Kambosos. That will be on Triller whenever it does happen. He has re-upped with Top Rank. They're gonna try to work on payment and all that issue when they get better opponents, opposition for the guy. But Lomachenko is gonna be fun, but so is Tank Davis. Next weekend's the weekend for boxing for me. That's the one I'm looking at. But tonight was a good boxing day.
Awesome. All right, well, let's do our last question of the night. Since Rachel was here, maybe we can get her in our drawing. We're going to go to wrestling now because I decided to change it up a little bit. So for us old-timers, we should get this, by the way.
Yeah.
Bruno Sammartino wrestled his last match at a 1987 house show, teaming with what wrestler against King Kong Bundy in one-man game? Your 30 seconds starts now. And Rachel, please join in, honey, so you can get in the contest. All right, let's start with Ralph.
Diamond Dave.
That was also Diamond Dave's retirement year. He was 27 older than Bruno at the time.
Oh, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You're too kind. Seriously, I'm gonna say Andre Giant.
Okay, BG Money.
Oh, snap. Ric Flair.
JD.
Oh, he's doing it.
Hulk Hogan.
Yep. That's JD's guess. Justin.
I'm off, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Larry Zbyszko. I don't even think he was ever part of WWF.
Rachel, do you have a guess to the question? I'll put the question back up. Bruno Sammartino wrestled his last match at a 1987 house show, teaming with what wrestler against King Kong Bundy and one hand game?
Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
He said Andre the Giant. The answer is, and I don't believe it, Shady got it right. Hogan. All right. BG Money, you want to do your plug?
All right. Before we get going on, I would like to announce my up and coming. Okay, if this thing is start working right over here on my end, sorry. Okay, there we go. Balling with BG mentality. Now it will be my own podcast.
Mentality.
So, it will be coming up soon. We're probably looking around Wednesday, Tuesday nights. Whenever I can get the rest of it set up, you will be seeing
that big game mentality.
Report. Yes. You'll be seeing everybody here normal over on Balling with BG. It's nothing different. It's we're gonna get in there. We're gonna talk about certain people. Hopefully get people on there to ask questions on how they like this and like that. Maybe doing small interviews. But yeah, Balling with BG will be coming soon.
Right on. I love it.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Awesome. We're listening to our last segment of the night, and I did this one for you, BG Money. We'll talk about it briefly, and then we'll call it a night. Packers coach says that the Green Bay Packers have a plan with or without Aaron Rodgers. DJ, you take the floor on this one, man. This is your team. This is your man.
As much as I love my Green Bay Packers, the coach is right. We have a plan with or without Aaron. It may look like Jordan Love will be starting week 1 if Rodgers does not show up to training camp.
I think the question is it a good plan or not?
Honestly,
I think so.
Honestly, in my opinion, no. Rodgers is just acting like a baby. So
I think it's good. I think Atlanta and I think most of the NFL is moving towards new quarterbacks. I mean, you got Breeze gone. Brady's probably not going to hang out too many more years.
Ben's on his way out probably after next year or this year.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's only probably got maybe 1, maybe 2 more years left in him. I think Atlanta's probably going to get ready. I think they're going to working on drafting a quarterback probably next season, possibly, or making some kind of trade deal for one. But I think Matt Ryan. If Matt Ryan doesn't get it done this upcoming season, I think Atlanta is basically they know what the next problem is at this point.
something Green
And
Bay
I
had
think
to
Green, I
go
think
through
Green
back
Bay
then.
is on the same pathway with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
I mean, not taking anything away from either one of those quarterbacks, but you know, you reach a certain point, you know, you've maxed out your game, you know, and there's too many young and upcoming superstar players that, you know, are just putting shame to those guys, and team owners are only going to put up with it so long.
Exactly.
It's not the NBA. It's not the NBA, that's for sure. The owners get pissed very easy. I will say, out of the 5 of our teams, which me and Jen like the same squad, you know, Pittsburgh Steelers, Ralph has the most certainty right now at the quarterback position. I love Mike Tomlin as a coach. He's their guy moving forward, but I'll say BG and Packers with LaFleur. He's pretty deadlocked to be there for a while. I don't know about McCarthy, and I don't even know who's with Atlanta. I think it's Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith will probably be good. He'll be good for Atlanta, but NFL, man, it's crazy. We're already talking about it. It really is mind-boggling. Somebody told me today we're 70 days away from college football, and then what? Just 2 weeks later, NFL hits. It's really surreal how quickly it comes back. And I mean, it's fun though. We love talking about it.
I'm ready for it this season.
I'm ready for football. I've been ready since the day after it ended last season. You know, quick, real quick. What do you enjoy most? The NFL or the college football? Ralph?
NFL for me personally.
I do like the college game. I mean, that's of course, you know, that's where the stars of the NFL futures, right? You know, the future of the NFL is right there. In college, it's just that, you know, they have to get their act together with the licensing agreements.
I think what's ruined college for me is all the new rules. Once again, you start adding in all these crazy new rules to the game, and it's like, well, you know, why are the things so different from college to NFL?
Yeah, and then you know, you got the Power 5 conferences. They really don't want to share no money with any other conferences outside of Power 5. I mean, hell, you got the Big 12. The Big 12, though, you got half of the Big 12 didn't even want University of Houston to get into the Big 12 when it first started.
Which is BS.
And they try to do it again. You know, UH line themselves up to get into the Big 12, but then the Big 12 conference, all 10 schools are like, oh, we're one big family. We gonna hang in this together. And I said from right then and there, I said, the Big 12, no football team from the Big 12 conference will win the national championship.
Yep.
Yeah, I love college football. I love the excitement of it and everything, you know. But I don't like the politics behind the NCAA because the way that they do things, you know, and the way they set college football set up the playoffs. I think it needs improvement. That's just my thought as a fan.
I agree.
NFL is exciting too, but there's just something about college football that just, I guess, because the way college football is, it's not as predictable sometimes as what the NFL is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah, any given Saturday. No, you're right. I mean, anything can happen, really. I agree. Right. I agree with everybody. I love both, but like Shady, you're right. Ralph, you're definitely right. Jen, you're definitely, you know, all you guys definitely nailed it on the head. As far as watching from a game, like if I'm wanting excitement, I'm going to go with college to watch. But if I want the pizzazz and the star and the laying back on Sunday, I'm going with NFL. If I want all that entertainment atmosphere, it's almost like Vince McMahon. It's what is it? Sports entertainment. If I want the entertainment factor, it's the NFL. But if I want actual substance or gameplay, I would prefer college because we got all these different systems and styles and which we're seeing the NFL kind of adapt to because Ralph, is like you said, they're the future stars they're the stars of tomorrow. So we're seeing the NFL really change drastically with this no huddle and all these spread, just spread backfields, staying in shotgun about 80% of the time. There's a lot of crazy stuff out there that, 20 years ago they weren't doing.
All right, guys. So we're gonna call it a night. I want to thank everybody for joining us live. Everybody for watching the replay, wherever you're watching at. We're out.
Go.
Thank you for joining us at the Skull Report. Every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Be there or be square. Peace. We're out.